Box Chats, sponsored by Opulent Nail and Spa. Luxury nails held to a higher standard.
Well, welcome into another segment of Juice Box Chats. I know we've been gone for a couple of weeks. We got some new programming here in both of our stations. Alissa Harrington is joining me again, though. And today we're finally back, and now we're talking about back to school. It's been almost a solid week for both of our families, Alissa. So how are you guys doing? How's the first week been? Did it go good, or was it rough?
It was good. It's always kind of different getting back into the swing of things. We're in now years 5th grade and 3rd grade. My husband's in, I don't know, his 16th or 17th year as a educator, something to that effect. So it's always kind of interesting each year getting back into it, but things are going good. It wasn't too tough, the sleep schedule, getting back into the swing of things with that. I think it helps when you start on a Thursday, so that kind of seems to help a little bit. But how about for you guys?
No, everything went good. My daughter was a little hesitant at first to go back because there's different sections of her 1st grade class, of course, and 2 of her very best friends were in a different section than she was this year, which was hard, for her to accept. But once she got in the classroom, she got to meet some of her old friends and new friends and got to meet her teacher, and she loves her teacher, Miss Feidel. She said was so nice. And then I think once she got that first day under her belt, realized it was going to be a blast and all these new adventures, she was good to go. So
good. Yeah, we so for us, the night before or the day before, this year it was 2 days before school started, they did like a back to school bash at school, and my daughter couldn't make it. Yeah, she couldn't make it this year. She's made it every other year prior, and so is my son. My son went, but my daughter had musical because she was in the Northwest High School musical, which kicked off that day. So she was a little bit nervous because she didn't get a chance to meet her teacher ahead of time like she has all the other years, and she wasn't familiar with who she was, and she wasn't sure exactly who was all in her class. So she was kind of, having those kind of worries and concerns leading into the first day. And then not as many of her really close friends were in her class. So first day she was kind of, worried about that. But then by Friday, we were fine. She was fine. Everything was good, which I knew it would be the case. I just said, you know all these kids. And it sounds like there's a few new kids from different schools that have come into the class this year, but I said, by the end of the year, you guys will all be besties too, and then you'll be doing the same re-racking of things for next year. So, and it's a little different because now she's a 5th grader, so they're kind of starting to transition into that middle school type of stuff. So they've got a couple of different classes that have the other teacher instead. So I think for math and science, maybe something like that. So they're kind of moving classrooms a little bit and changing things up. So that was different too. But my son, he also a few different friends this year. 2 of them that he's always had in class. That are a couple of his best friends he doesn't have, but he's got a couple others that are in class that are good friends. So it's like we always say, you'll see each other at recess, you'll be fine, and at lunchtime.
That's what we told him too. That you're still going to see your friends. We can hang out outside of school too, once Aurora figured that out, I think she was good to go too. But I was going to pull up here. We have a very sweet family picture of you guys for back to school. Mom's of course behind the camera.
Since my husband's back to school as well, I figured we'd do a back to school of the 3 that are all going back to school. My husband and the kids.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, that's
Brandon
so
looks
sweet.
super excited, if you can't tell.
He's like, ready to go back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
So out of your kids, who would you say was the least excited to go back?
Probably Liv. Actually, I don't even know. It's hard to say. She was, like I said, she had a little bit more concerns just because she didn't get a chance to get to the back to school deal the couple nights before.
Yeah.
So I felt like she just had a couple more reservations about things, but they both like school well enough, I'd say. I think she was looking forward to they're both looking forward to it, I think, in a way. But I bet they're about on the same wavelength of excitement versus dread.
Okay, how was Leo's first day? Does he have friends in his class, like his teacher, all the things?
Yeah, Yeah, he likes his teacher, and he's got a couple of good buddies. So it sounds like things are going good so far for both of them, actually. So it was just, there was a lot going on that first week because my daughter also had the musical, and so on Thursday night for opening night, she didn't get home until almost 11.
Oh
So
my gosh,
that
what
was
a
a
long
lot,
day.
and we all went
Yeah.
to that opening night. So it didn't get over with till about almost 10 because they got started late due to a fire alarm going off in the school.
Oh my goodness.
So they had to take care of that. So it was kind of a late night for all of us on that second night back. So
That's
that
a
was
long
kind of
day.
the only
Yeah.
thing. It was kind of and it was a long week for her in general because they were doing tech all week and everything, but she had a great experience with that. And then of course they did performances over the weekend. But so now we're kind of back into the full swing of things with this first full week, and so things have been going
Yes.
good. Can't complain too much. So it's
Good.
been nice to kind of get back into the routine, I think, for everybody. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Are you kind of feeling like you're back into the swing of things?
I think so. We had a lot of fun this summer, and I think we were all a little sad to see that go, but I was very much ready for the routine of school, the hours being the same every day for drop off, pickup, because those summer camps that Aurora was going to, it was different locations every week. It was different drop off times, different pickup times, different t-shirts that needed washed for each week, and it was a lot. I mean, it was fun. She had a great time, but it was a lot. And so I was ready for school to go back. Her first day here, we had a lot of showers that morning. Yes, here we are outside of her school.
I love that dress she has on.
Thank you. She picked that out because she liked how many different colors there were in it. She loves rainbows. So that's what she went with. But it had rained quite a bit that morning. And I was kind of concerned about us because we park in the neighborhood next to the school and then walk her up for the first day, the both of us. And I was like, oh no, like we're not gonna be able to take, picture outside, or like it's gonna be raining. They're all just gonna run in, really quick and not be able to give them hugs or, but oh my gosh, the rain stopped. It was perfect. And it ended up being a really nice day. I took this one of her too.
That is so cute. Did you do that?
Thank you. No, gosh, no. I can't take credit for that. I'm not that artistic. It's her babysitter. We absolutely love Lauren. Lauren watched her the last 3 days of her summer break. So this was done the day before her first day of school.
Wow,
and
that's
so,
impressive.
Isn't she artistic? I know.
Yes.
She's going into the medical field for her career, but I was like, I don't know, Lauren, you might want to consider like something artistic, graphic design, or I don't know. She does a lot of cute stuff, and so Aurora was very excited to take a picture next to that. So,
I
and then
bet. That is cute. You'll have to keep that forever. That'll be a keepsake memory for sure.
by the time we came home from taking this picture at the school, the chalk was gone because of the rain. Yep, the chalk was all gone. So we were really glad that we got
time.
Yep. Yeah. So no, it was a great first day of school, and she has all the same specials again this year. So she was very excited about that. All the same teachers for that as well. So I think a lot of the unknowns that she was so concerned about once she got there, she was like, oh wait, I know all this. This isn't so scary and unknown. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, everything was kind of the same for us as years past, just that one little hiccup with Liv, not having that opportunity to kind of do the routine that she had always done prior to coming to the first day, because they also, you can leave your school supplies and check in and see where all your stuff is and your location of the room and your seat and who you're sitting by. So I think that was her only, reservation that she was concerned about. But otherwise, it was good. And the nice thing is these first few weeks, or first couple weeks anyway, the different activities that the kids do outside of school haven't quite started up yet. So we've still got a little bit of time before we get into the groove of that. So that's nice.
That's nice. Yeah. Just to give you a little bit of breathing room when everything's changing so quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of stuff starts after Labor Day weekend.
Oh, gotcha. Well, we will have to take a quick break here, but we'll come back, talk a little bit more about that first week of school, and then also looking ahead to the rest of the school year and our topic for next week. So stay with us.
Box Chats, sponsored by Opulent Nail and Spa. Luxury nails held to a higher standard.
Well, welcome into the second half of our Juice Box Chats here this morning. Alyssa and I have been talking about back to school week, how that's gone for our kids. Alyssa, there was one other development in Aurora's first week of school that I forgot to tell you too. She came home on Monday and she was so excited. She lost a tooth at school. She was eating lunch and apparently she bit an apple and that had it hanging out. So she had to go to the nurse's office and they just pulled it out the rest of the way. But they sent it home in this little treasure box, this little plastic treasure box, and she was so excited to show us. It was so cute.
That's so funny. We've had that happen a couple of times.
Have you?
Both for sure, yeah. I think Leo's maybe lost 2 teeth at school and Liv 1, or maybe they both lost 2, and it always seems to be at lunchtime. That's so funny. Some of the times I didn't even know they had a loose tooth. I'm like, what? You lost a tooth? Like, what happened? But yeah, that's always fun when that happens. You're like, look.
Yes.
The amount of teeth that for elementary school, whether it be teachers or nurses deal with, is probably almost daily, I bet. So.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, with all those kids. Yeah, Aurora has 24 in her class. I forgot to ask, what size class do your kids have?
I don't have any idea. Normally they're around 18. So we have, they cap the enrollment. We've got 2 classes per grade at Cedar Hollow, and they're able to cap option enrollment in, so they can they normally keep it around 18 kids, I believe. So
I see.
That should be about it.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. Aurora, of course, had to go talk to her kindergarten teacher from last year and say hi to her and, everything. We did that on open house night. And she told me that she's been teaching this her 23rd year. For the first time in her 23 years of teaching here in Lincoln at Maxie, she has less than 20 kids in her class. She only has 17. I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, so this would be the kindergarten class would be the babies born in about probably 2021. So, thinking about the pandemic and that timing and everything, I was like, that's really interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it's like that across the country.
Yeah, I don't know. And that just so happens to be just what the number was, nothing different about the district change or nothing like that as far as, okay, interesting.
No redistricting. All the kindergarten classes at Maxie were just smaller than usual. And she said she had heard that it was like that across the LPS district. So I don't know. We'll have to look into that. Usually I think we get enrollment numbers released here in September. So we're going to be looking into that to see if it's true at other schools here in Lincoln as well. So
my future sister-in-law, she works over at Overton Public Schools, and so does my brother-in-law. And she does preschool, but she also helps out the kindergarten. And the kindergarten has 24 kids in that class. So that's over in Overton.
That sounds big for their area.
It is, because generally I think they have 12 seniors in their senior class at the high school. So, and that's kind of, it varies, a little bit of ebb and flow there, but 24 kindergartners is a lot, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh, I think so too. There's no way I could do it. God bless teachers. There's no way. So your kids, do they pack a lunch every day or do they eat school lunch?
It's depended from year to year. Normally they eat school lunch. I think kindergarten year my son was more, I'm trying to think, was kindergarten, first grade, one of the two. He was packing lunch more, but it just kind of depends. A lot of times we'll take a look at the schedule. I think normally the week before the following month, they'll send us out the whole month worth of lunches.
Oh, gotcha.
And then they can kind of decide. But generally they eat school lunch now. Like I said, it's kind of changed here and there, but for the most part, they eat school lunch. What about you guys?
Yeah, I would say for the most part, Aurora has ate school lunch. There are definitely some school lunches that she prefers more than others. But then a couple times last year, out of nowhere, she asked to kind of take her lunch a couple times because a couple of her friends were, so she wanted to do that too. And I think she liked it because she asked about it as we started school this year too. Through the summer, we always had to pack a school lunch for these summer camps, and I always wrote her a little note to put in them. And I think she liked that. And so she was like, well, can we do that again for school lunches? And I was like, we're not going to do it every day, but we can do it here and there when maybe there's a lunch you don't like as well, or, I don't know, special occasions or something. So, but we're the same, mainly school lunches.
Right. And the thing is, when it comes to the taking your own lunch, we try and get as much of it put together or figured out the night before and ask them, what do you want? Because my husband there on his own, it just gets really hectic and chaotic, and he's trying to get his stuff done. So we try and get as much as we can figure out the night before as possible. So if we're doing home lunch, if you bring your own lunch, then that's something that we try and get put together as well. But I don't do if my daughter brings a school lunch, or if my son too, I can't remember if he likes a peanut butter and jelly, but sometimes he will. He's all over the place with that. But if we're bringing peanut butter and jelly, that's to be made the day of, because then the bread gets all soggy. So I'm very
can't be soggy.
particular about that, because I used to hate that as a kid. I was like, it's all soggy.
I did too.
Gross
Or
already.
like when I always hated it when if I had a sandwich, it got on like the ice pack and it made the bread wet and soggy or something. Oh, that was the worst. I can't.
I know.
Wet bread is disgusting. So I totally get that. But no, and I also
so that's
think
my one thing.
Aurora really liked the chips that came with her sandwiches. You know, when we packed her meal too, she's like, "This is great. I get chips," and we'd always put like fruit gummies or like some little treat in there too. So I think she really liked that part of it. But
They do pretty. I mean, when you look at it, and I've been to the school a few times to eat. Normally, I go once a year with each of the kids. Sometimes on the same day, but they want me to come to lunch once in a while, so I'll usually go once a year. Sometimes on their birthday or something like that. But and they've got a more well-rounded, I would say, lunch than what I would pack or like what you could pack. I mean, because they've got fruits and they've got vegetables and just more of a well-balanced rather than some of the stuff that I would otherwise pack usually. So I kind of prefer that. If they'll eat it, I think it's generally probably for the best anyway. But I did notice a lot of the schools, I think Hastings Public Schools upped their, I think 50 cents for their lunches this year. So they're not exactly cheap, but yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's good for kids to try new things. You know, when we're packing those lunches a lot of times from home, you're going to be eating the same roast beef sandwich for 3 days so that we can eat up that lunch meat, you know. But I think it's good for kids to try new things and, you know, and just broaden their horizons a little bit when it comes to their diet. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but I know I was spoiled growing up because the majority of our school lunches were all homemade because we were such a small school. And now that we're in a bigger school district and it's all the kind of the frozen meals that get just reheated, I was like, oh, where are all the wonderful meals I grew up with?
Right. Well, and for me, I went to a few different elementary schools growing up, but all of them, I believe, from what I could tell, made the lunch there. So I know for Northwest, they make it's all at the hub in the high school, and then they bring it over and then reheat it. So I feel like you can kind of tell it's reheated. So unless my taste has just changed over time, but I was like, my school lunches were way better than this. I will not eat this. Sorry, it is what it is. But the kids still seem to mind it too much. But I just remember my school lunches being better anyway.
I do too.
But
a lot of yummy
again,
stuff.
if it's being made and prepared right there, I feel like it's a lot different. And if it's you know, prepared and reheated again later on down the road. So I guess that's a pretty common practice. So because I think GIPS does something the same. So yeah. But I guess I'm just not aware of the changes of things compared to 30 years ago or whatever.
It wasn't that long, right? Well, I'm so glad to hear the first week has gone well for your kid and your husband. Everybody going back and getting back into those routines. So it can be tough for parents. I know I saw some kiddos with some tears on the first day of school outside of our school.
Yeah.
No,
well, I'm glad to hear that you guys had a great experience back to school, because I know that's your first year of doing the getting back to school situation for first grade. So it can be a lot. But yeah, it sounds like Aurora's, you know, acclimating and going to do just fine.
Yes, I think so too. I'm excited for her. So, looking forward to next week. We are going to be talking about how August is National Breastfeeding Awareness Month. We have a guest joining us from Milkworks, an expert that, you know, we're going to have all sorts of questions for because her knowledge will just be immense. And we're just going to talk about how important it is for moms and babies for the breastfeeding journey and how everyone's journey is different. And then also some tips or any advice she has for moms as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's been years since I've been in that boat, but I'm curious to hear some of the different things and how things have changed a little bit since I was breastfeeding years ago. So,
Yeah, I feel like the recommendations year to year almost change and that they're always learning.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested too, but I'm looking forward to that next week.
Looking forward to it too.
All right, we'll talk to you then, Alyssa.
Sounds great. Have a good one.